Hello and welcome to Sleepy Sports. In this video, we will explore the complete rule structure of one of the most intricate and historic games in the world, cricket. This narration is intentionally slow, detailed, and repetitive. It is designed to help you relax, focus, or fall asleep. There will be no sudden sounds, no music, and no emotional tone. Only the steady voice of information. Now please sit back, close your eyes if you like, and let the rules of cricket begin. Cricket is a bat and ball game played between two teams of 11 players each, and is widely regarded as one of the most strategically rich and complex sports in the world. Its origins trace back to the rural landscapes of England during the late 16th century, where it was played informally on grassy commons, before evolving into a codified sport with official rules, governing bodies, and international competition. The game is played on a large oval-shaped field with a rectangular 22-yard-long pitch at its centre, where most of the action unfolds. The primary objective of the game is for one team to score more runs than the other, while also dismissing the opposing team's batters within the rules of play. At its most fundamental level, cricket is a contest between batters, who aim to accumulate runs, and bowlers, who aim to dismiss those batters using a combination of speed, spin, accuracy, and tactical variations. A standard match consists of innings in which one team bats and attempts to score runs, while the other bowls and fields to restrict those runs and achieve dismissals. Once a predetermined number of overs have been bowled, or all batters are dismissed, the teams switch roles. Depending on the format of the game, this can happen once or twice for each team. The central action revolves around the bowler delivering the ball from one end of the pitch to the batter standing at the opposite end, while the batter attempts to strike the ball and score runs by running between the wickets or by hitting the ball to the boundary. The fielding team is spread across the ground, strategically positioned to stop runs or to attempt catches and run-outs. The game is officiated by umpires who ensure that the laws of cricket are followed, make decisions about dismissals, and manage the flow of play. Unlike many sports, cricket offers multiple formats, each with its own time constraints and tactical implications. Test cricket, the longest form of the game, spans 5 days and allows for 2 innings per team. One-day internationals, or ODIs, restrict each team to 50 overs, while 2020, or T20, is the shortest international format with 20 overs per side. Each format retains the same fundamental rules and structure, but introduces variations in pace, strategy, and player roles. The scoring system in cricket revolves around runs, which are earned when batters successfully exchange ends after hitting the ball, or when the ball reaches the boundary of the field, either along the ground or in the air. 4 runs are awarded for grounded shots that reach the boundary, while 6 runs are awarded for aerial shots that land beyond the boundary without touching the ground. Additional runs can be awarded as extras when the bowling team commits infractions, such as delivering a wide or no ball. The fielding team seeks to limit the number of runs conceded while simultaneously attempting to dismiss each batter. Dismissals can occur in various ways, such as being bowled, caught, run out, leg before wicket, or stumped. Each method has specific criteria that must be satisfied and is governed by a precise and extensive set of rules. The team that scores the most runs, while successfully dismissing the opposition, wins the match, though draws and ties are possible under certain conditions, particularly in longer formats. Cricket also incorporates a spirit of fair play and sportsmanship, often referred to simply as the spirit of cricket, which emphasises respect for opponents, officials, and the game itself. While this spirit is not codified in scoring metrics, it is considered essential to the conduct of the game and is upheld by players, coaches, and fans alike. Over the centuries, cricket has developed a rich vocabulary, intricate strategies, and an array of specialised roles for both batters and bowlers. From defensive techniques, such as the forward block, to aggressive strokes, like the reverse sweep, from seam bowling to leg spin, and from slips to silly mid-off. Cricket's complexity reveals itself in the interaction of player roles, pitch conditions, game context, and mental resilience. Although it may appear slow or inscrutable to new viewers, each delivery and decision carries weight and contributes to the larger tactical narrative of the match. The game's charm lies in this layered structure, where tradition, patience, and sudden bursts of action intertwine. To fully understand cricket, one must begin with its purpose: to score runs, to defend those runs, and to do so within a set of well-defined rules that balance offence and defence, individual skill and team coordination, and precision and improvisation. This introduction provides the foundation on which all other rules and mechanics are built, and as we proceed into more specific aspects of the game, we will uncover how each component connects to the overall objective and rhythm of cricket. A cricket match is structured in a manner that emphasises strategy, endurance, and timing, with different formats offering varied time constraints and scoring opportunities, but all adhering to a common set of principles that define how the game is played from beginning to end. At its core, a cricket match consists of one or more innings per team, depending on the format, with one team batting while the other bowls and fields, followed by a switch of roles once the batting team has completed its innings, either by losing all of its wickets, using up its allotted overs, or declaring its innings closed. In traditional test matches, which span up to 5 days, each team is allowed 2 innings, and the match is played without a fixed number of overs, focusing instead on the natural progression of dismissals and scoring as the primary determinants of pace. In contrast, one-day internationals and 2020 matches feature limited overs, with each team allowed a maximum of 50 or 20 overs respectively, making these formats more time-bound and conducive to aggressive playstyles. At the beginning of a match, a coin toss determines which team will bat or bowl first, a decision that often depends on pitch conditions, weather, and team strengths. Once the match begins, 2 batters from the batting team take the field and position themselves at opposite ends of the pitch, standing at the strikers' and non-strikers' ends respectively. The bowler from the fielding team delivers the ball from one end toward the batter at the opposite end, while the rest of the fielding team is positioned strategically around the ground to prevent runs or attempt dismissals. An over consists of 6 legal deliveries, bowled by the same bowler from one end of the pitch, after which another bowler takes over from the opposite end. This alternating pattern continues throughout the innings, with bowlers often rotated based on fatigue, pitch behaviour, and tactical requirements. Each team is allowed a set number of overs per innings in limited overs cricket, and managing these overs through effective bowling changes and field placements is a central element of captaincy. The fielding team attempts to dismiss the 10 out of 11 batters of the opposition, as a team is considered all out when 10 batters have been dismissed and no further pairs remain to continue the innings. Batters aim to score runs by striking the ball with their bat and running to the opposite end of the pitch, with each completed run adding to the team's total. Batters can also score through boundaries, either 4 runs when the ball reaches the boundary after bouncing, or 6 runs if it crosses the boundary in the air. Extras such as wides, no balls, Byes and leg byes also contribute to the total score and can occur without the batter making contact with the ball. Each match is overseen by 2 on-field umpires who are responsible for making decisions regarding the legality of deliveries, dismissals, boundaries, and other aspects of play, with a 3rd umpire available for video-assisted decisions in professional matches. Time management plays an essential role in the structure of the game, particularly in tests, where innings can be extended across multiple sessions and days, requiring captains to declare their innings at strategic moments in order to force a result, rather than settle for a draw. Draws are a unique outcome in Test cricket and occur when time runs out before either team can secure a victory by dismissing the opposition or surpassing their score. In limited overs cricket, matches can end in a tie if both teams score the same number of runs, or in a no result if weather or other disruptions prevent a minimum number of overs from being bowled. The batting order, which determines the sequence in which players go out to bat, is decided by the team and often reflects a balance between aggression and stability, with openers facing the new ball and middle-order batters managing the innings toward the later stages. Substitutions are limited in cricket, with only fielding substitutes allowed under normal conditions, and injured players unable to bat or bowl unless specified under recent concussion protocols or substitute policies. Another unique structural element is the role of the captain, who has significant influence over tactics, including field placements, bowling rotations, and declarations, making cricket one of the few team sports where strategic decisions on the field are driven by the players rather than solely by coaches. Each match format brings with it a distinct rhythm and style, with tests focusing on attrition and patience, ODIs on balance between caution and aggression, and T20s on explosive scoring and rapid tactical shifts. Regardless of the format, the structure of a cricket match is deeply rooted in tradition and precision, blending physical skill with mental endurance and decision-making. Understanding this structure provides a foundation for appreciating the depth of the sport and the countless ways in which players and teams can approach their objective of scoring more runs than the opposition. With clearly defined innings, overs, roles, and outcomes, cricket offers a canvas on which strategy, timing, and execution are constantly tested over the course of every delivery and decision, making its structure both elegant and deeply challenging. In cricket, each team is composed of 11 players who are selected based on a combination of skill roles and strategic considerations, with the objective of creating a balanced unit capable of both scoring runs and taking wickets. Effectively, the composition of a cricket team varies depending on the format of the game, the conditions in which it is played, and the preferences of the captain and coaching staff, but generally includes a mix of batters, bowlers, all-rounders, and a wicket-keeper. The role of each player is defined not only by their individual specialty, but also by how they contribute to the overall functioning and synergy of the team. The top order usually consists of 3 to 4 specialist batters who are expected to face the new ball and establish a solid foundation for the innings. These players are selected for their technical ability, concentration, and consistency under pressure, and are often tasked with weathering early bowling attacks in longer formats and scoring quickly in shorter formats. The middle order includes batters who are skilled at adapting to various match situations, such as consolidating after early wickets or accelerating the run rate in the latter stages of an innings. These players are often versatile and experienced, capable of playing both defensively and aggressively, depending on what the team requires. The lower middle order is typically where all-rounders are placed. players who can contribute significantly with both bat and ball and offer valuable depth to the batting lineup, while also providing additional bowling options to the captain. All-rounders come in different types, with some being bowling all-rounders, who excel primarily with the ball, and others being batting all-rounders, who are stronger with the bat, but can deliver a few overs when needed. The bowling unit consists of a combination of fast bowlers, medium pacers, and spinners, each offering different styles and strategies to challenge the opposition. Batters. Fast. Bowlers rely on speed, bounce, and movement through the air or off the pitch. Medium pacers use accuracy and variation, while spinners depend on revolutions, flight, and deception to induce mistakes. Bowlers are rotated strategically throughout the innings to exploit pitch conditions and maintain pressure on the batters. Every team also includes a wicket-keeper, a specialised player who stands behind the stumps to catch deliveries missed by the batter, attempt stumpings, and contribute to fielding coordination. The wicket-keeper must possess quick reflexes, sharp eyesight, and the ability to anticipate the path of the ball, especially when facing spin bowlers. The keeper plays a crucial role in both defence and morale, often acting as an on-field motivator and communicator within the team. Besides individual roles, fielding positions are carefully chosen and adjusted during play, with certain players being more suited to positions like slips, gully point, or boundary, due to their agility, throwing arm, or catching skills. Good fielding can significantly alter the course of a game by saving runs or converting half chances into dismissals, and is considered an essential component of a successful team dynamic. Captains play an indispensable role in team composition and in-game decisions, including setting field placements, rotating bowlers, managing the batting order, and responding to changing match situations. The captain must balance strategic insight with interpersonal leadership, motivating the team while staying within the rules and spirit of the game, while coaches, analysts, and support staff contribute behind the scenes during training and planning. The captain leads on the field and embodies the tactical philosophy of the team. Team composition is often influenced by pitch conditions, with spinners preferred on dry turning tracks and fast bowlers on bouncy or seaming surfaces. Similarly, playing conditions such as dew weather and ground size also affect selection decisions in limited overs. Cricket, especially in T20s teams, may opt for deeper batting lineups and multiple all-rounders to maximise flexibility and scoring potential. In Test matches, teams prioritise endurance and bowling depth to last 5 days and secure 20 wickets without compromising batting resilience. Many national teams also emphasise the inclusion of young emerging talent alongside experienced players, creating a mix of energy and stability that allows for both immediate performance and long-term development. International teams represent their nations in various formats under the guidance of national boards, while domestic teams operate within regional leagues, using similar team structures to groom future stars in tournaments like the Indian Premier League or the 100 franchises, assemble balanced squads through auctions and drafts, focusing on skill combinations and tactical matchups. Team chemistry is crucial, regardless of format, and a well-composed unit can outperform more individually talented teams through coordination, communication, and shared purpose. Cricket teams also reflect a broader cultural and sporting identity, with players often representing not just themselves, but their communities, traditions, and values. This sense of representation elevates team selection and performance beyond technical metrics into the realm of national pride and collective aspiration. Understanding the roles and composition of cricket teams provides insight into the strategic depth of the game, highlighting how the interplay of specialization, flexibility, and cohesion contributes to overall success in this intricate and ever-evolving sport. The playing area in cricket consists of a large oval-shaped field with a carefully prepared central strip known as the pitch, which serves as the focal point for every delivery in the game. The field itself can vary in size and shape depending on the ground or stadium, but is typically between 450 and 500 feet in diameter, with a boundary rope or painted line marking its outer edge. Inside this vast space lies the cricket pitch, a rectangular area that measures 22 yards in length and 10 feet in width, which is the surface on which bowlers deliver the ball and batters attempt to score runs. The pitch is prepared with great care and is made of closely cut grass or rolled clay soil, depending on the region and format. It is one of the most important elements in the game because its hardness, moisture content, and wear over time significantly influence the behavior of the ball, including bounce pace and spin. At each end of the pitch stand 3 wooden stumps that are 28 inches high and placed closely together in a straight line to form the wicket. 2 small wooden bales rest on top of the stumps, completing the wicket structure. These wickets serve as the target for the bowlers and the primary zone that batters must protect. Adjacent to each set of stumps is a painted white line called the crease, which helps determine legal delivery and safe running zones. The popping crease runs horizontally in front of the stumps and is where the batter must reach to complete a run safely or avoid being dismissed. A bowler must deliver the ball from behind the bowling crease and within the return creases, which are vertical lines running parallel to the pitch on either side. The proper understanding and usage of these lines are essential for legal play. The rest of the field is divided into different zones, such as the infield, the outfield, and specific fielding positions, which are often named based on their distance and angle from the batter. Fielding positions include areas like slip gully point, cover, mid-off, mid-on square leg, and fine leg, among many others. And these can be adjusted dynamically throughout the match based on strategy and the tendencies of the batters. The infield is the area closest to the pitch and is often where fielders are positioned to prevent quick singles or to attempt catches. The outfield is covered in grass and is where fielders patrol to intercept powerful shots or chase balls heading for the boundary. The quality of the outfield and its speed can also affect how the ball travels and influences batting decisions. Each player on the field must also be equipped with specific gear for protection and performance. Batters wear padded leg guards, gloves, helmets, thigh guards, chest protectors, and abdominal guards to protect themselves from the impact of fast deliveries, which can reach speeds in excess of 90 miles per hour. The bat used in cricket is traditionally made of willow wood and is flat on one side, with a curved back and a handle made of cane and rubber. The weight and balance of the bat are chosen based on player preference, with some favouring lighter bats for control and others heavier ones for power. The cricket ball is a hard leather sphere with a prominent stitched seam that aids bowlers in generating movement through the air or off the pitch. The standard red ball is used in test matches, while white balls are used in limited overs formats for better visibility under lights. The condition of the ball changes as the game progresses, and this affects its behaviour, which is why teams often manage the ball carefully to preserve its shine on one side to aid swing bowling. Bowlers wear spiked shoes for traction and may use sweat or saliva to shine the ball, although recent health guidelines have adjusted some of these traditional practices. Fielders, except for the wicket-keeper and players in close catching positions, do not typically wear protective gear, although catching gloves are used by the wicket-keeper and sometimes by those standing near the bat. Wicket-keepers also wear pads and helmets, especially when standing up to the stumps for spin bowlers. The umpires carry essential tools, including a counter, to keep track of balls bowled in each over white discs, to mark the crease, and a set of signals for indicating boundaries. No balls wides and dismissals. Modern cricket grounds are also equipped with technology, such as cameras, radar systems, and sensors that assist in making accurate decisions through systems like ball tracking, edge detection, and instant replay. These tools are used by the third umpire in situations requiring further examination, such as close run-out calls or disputed catches. The layout of the field, the characteristics of the pitch, and the equipment used all come together to create a highly detailed environment where small changes can have significant effects on the match outcome. Understanding the pitch field and gear is essential for interpreting the tactics used by players and teams, as each element introduces variables that shape decision-making and performance. From the type of pitch to the angle of the seam to the positioning of fielders, every detail plays a role in the unique complexity of cricket and contributes to its reputation as a sport of endless nuance and evolving strategy. Batting in cricket is the act of attempting to score runs while simultaneously defending the wicket from being struck by the ball, and it is one of the most central and nuanced aspects of the game. At any given time, during an innings, two batters from the batting side are on the field, one positioned at the striker's end to face the bowler and the other at the non-striker's end. The primary goal of the striker is to score runs by striking the ball with the bat while ensuring they do not get dismissed in the process. Runs are the basic unit of scoring in cricket, and they can be accumulated in several ways, but always within the defined laws of the game. When a batter successfully hits the ball, and both batters run to the opposite ends of the pitch, they score a single run and may attempt additional runs by running back and forth before the fielding side retrieves the ball and returns it to the stumps. If the ball crosses the boundary of the field after having touched the ground at least once, it results in 4 runs, and if it crosses the boundary on the full without bouncing, it results in 6 runs. These boundary scores are awarded automatically and are a key part of offensive play. In addition to these methods, batters can also earn runs through extras, which are granted to the batting team when the bowler commits an error, such as bowling a wide or a no ball. A wide occurs when the ball is delivered too far from the batter to be considered playable, and a no ball is called when the bowler oversteps the front crease or delivers the ball in an illegal manner. In both cases, the batting team is awarded an extra run, and in many formats, the next delivery is designated a free hit on which the batter cannot be dismissed by most forms of dismissal. Batters must also be cautious about running between the wickets, because if the fielding team manages to dislodge the bails with the ball before the batter reaches the crease, the batter is declared run out. This introduces a constant risk-reward dynamic, where batters must weigh the value of scoring an extra run against the danger of being dismissed. Another method of run scoring involves byes and leg byes, which occur when the batter misses the ball and it deflects off the body or simply passes the batter altogether, allowing the batters to run, while the fielding team retrieves the ball. In the case of a leg bye, the ball must make contact with the batter's body, but not the bat, and the batter must attempt a legitimate shot or evasive action for the run to count. The laws of cricket stipulate that the striker must attempt to play the ball with the flat face of the bat, which is shaped to direct the ball effectively and is subject to size and weight regulations. The batter is allowed to play both front foot and back foot strokes depending on the trajectory and bounce of the ball, and advanced batters will use a variety of shots, including drives, cuts, pulls, sweeps, and glances, each tailored to specific deliveries and field placements. The rules permit the batter to use the full width of the crease and to move around within it to adjust to different deliveries. However, stepping too far outside the crease may leave the batter vulnerable to being stumped if the wicketkeeper quickly removes the bails while the batter is out of their ground. Batters must also be aware of their position when playing a shot, because if the ball strikes their leg or body in line with the stumps and the umpire judges that it would have gone on to hit the stumps, the batter can be given out leg before wicket, known as LBW. This rule ensures that batters cannot use their bodies to unfairly block the ball from hitting the stumps. The innings continues until 10 out of 11 batters are dismissed, or until a set number of overs have been bowled, depending on the format of the match. During the innings, the batters may also face changing conditions such as pitch deterioration, lighting variations, and bowler fatigue, all of which influence their decision-making and shot selection. A key rule that governs batting is the strike rotation, which happens when the batters run an odd number of runs, causing the striker and non-striker to switch ends. This rotation can be strategic because it allows the team to manipulate which batter faces which bowler and can disrupt the fielding side's plans. In professional matches, batters also receive information from coaches and support staff during breaks to help them adjust their tactics in response to field settings and bowling strategies. Batting is as much a mental game as it is physical, and requires patience, concentration reflexes, and an understanding of the rules to maximize scoring opportunities while minimizing the chances of dismissal. The overarching objective is to score as many runs as possible while preserving wickets, because the total score represents the target that the opposing team must chase or exceed during their innings. In the event that the batting team is able to reach the set target or post a score that cannot be surpassed within the given time or overs, they win the match. Thus, the art and science of batting combine to form a central pillar of cricket, and the rules governing it ensure that the contest remains balanced, fair and rich in strategic depth. Bowling in cricket is the act of delivering the ball toward the batter with the primary objective of dismissing them or limiting the number of runs they can score, and it is one of the most technically precise and strategically rich components of the game. Each bowler must deliver the ball with a straight arm and without bending the elbow during the action, as defined by the laws of the game, and must remain behind the front crease while releasing the ball to ensure a legal delivery. A typical over consists of 6 legal deliveries, bowled from one end of the pitch, after which another bowler takes over from the opposite end. Bowlers cannot bowl 2 overs consecutively, and teams must manage their bowling rotations carefully to maintain pressure and conserve energy. There are two main categories of bowlers: fast bowlers, who rely on speed bounce and seam movement, and spin bowlers, who use flight turn and deception to outsmart the batter. Fast bowlers often begin the innings using a new ball, which tends to swing more in the air and bounce more off the pitch, making it particularly dangerous during the early stages of an innings. These bowlers use a long run-up to generate momentum and deliver the ball at high speeds, often exceeding 90 miles per hour. Their deliveries include outswingers, inswingers, yorkers, bouncers, and slower balls, each designed to test the batter's technique and decision-making. Swing bowling involves manipulating the movement of the ball in the air through seam position, wrist angle, and polishing one side of the ball to create differential airflow. In contrast, seam bowling focuses on the ball's movement off the pitch as it strikes the surface with the seam upright, causing unpredictable deviation. Spin bowlers operate at much slower speeds and rely on wrist and finger motion to impart rotation on the ball, causing it to turn after pitching. There are two broad types of spin bowlers: leg spinners, who turn the ball away from a right-handed batter, and off spinners, who turn it into them. Left-arm, orthodox, and unorthodox spinners also add variety, with different angles and spin directions. Spin bowling is especially effective on worn pitches that offer more grip and variable bounce, and bowlers use subtle changes in pace flight and trajectory to outwit batters. A key element of spin bowling is the use of deceptive deliveries, like the googly, the doosra, the carom ball, or the slider, each designed to appear similar to a standard delivery while behaving differently after pitching. Regardless of style, all bowlers must maintain control over line and length, the two dimensions that define the direction and distance of each delivery. Line refers to the horizontal path of the ball relative to the stumps, while length describes where the ball bounces on the pitch. Bowling a consistent line and length can restrict scoring opportunities and increase the likelihood of dismissals through edges, mistimed shots, or misjudged footwork. There are several ways a bowler can dismiss a batter, including bowling them out if the ball hits the stumps directly and dislodges the bails, or trapping them leg before wicket, if the ball would have hit the stumps, but was intercepted by the batter's pad in line with the wickets. Other methods include catches, run-outs, and stumpings, which often result from pressure created by disciplined bowling. Bowlers must also avoid delivering illegal balls, known as no balls or wides. A no ball is called if the bowler oversteps the front crease bowls with a bent arm or delivers a full toss above waist height. Wides are deliveries that are too far from the batter to be played, and both result in an extra run for the batting side, as well as an additional delivery. In limited overs formats, a no ball often results in a free hit on the following delivery, during which the batter cannot be dismissed by most conventional means. This rule adds a layer of consequence for errors and incentivizes bowlers to maintain discipline. Bowlers also contribute to fielding and are responsible for backing up throws at the stumps and fielding balls hit in their direction after delivery. Effective bowling is not only about individual skill, but also coordination with the captain and other players. Captains set field placements based on the type of bowler and the plan for each batter, often employing attacking fields for new batters and defensive fields for set ones. Bowlers must adjust their strategy based on pitch conditions, the state of the ball, the match situation, and the behaviour of the batters. As the match progresses, bowlers must manage fatigue and maintain focus, because errors can be costly, both in terms of runs conceded and missed opportunities. In multi-day matches, stamina and consistency become paramount, while in shorter formats, innovation and variation are key. The rules surrounding bowling ensure that the contest between bat and ball remains fair balanced and engaging, with every delivery offering a chance to shift the momentum of the match. From choosing the right type of delivery to executing it with precision, bowling is a disciplined craft governed by strict rules and influenced by countless variables and understanding. These rules is essential for appreciating the deeper rhythms and strategies of the game. In the game of cricket, fielders play a vital role in supporting the bowlers by restricting runs and creating opportunities for dismissals through coordination, awareness, and precise execution of their roles. Each team consists of 11 players, and when the team is fielding, all players, except the bowler and wicket-keeper, are positioned strategically around the field to intercept the ball, collect it, and return it with accuracy and speed. The fielding captain is responsible for deciding where each player stands based on the strengths and weaknesses of the batter, the type of bowler in operation, and the prevailing match conditions. Positions include slips, gully point, cover, mid-off, mid-on mid-wicket, square leg, fine leg, third man, and long on and long off, among others. The close infielders, such as those in the slips and at short leg, are placed to catch edges or deflections off the bat, while those in the deep are tasked with stopping boundaries and catching lofted shots. Fielders must remain alert at all times and be ready to chase the ball throw to the stumps or complete catches, often within split seconds of the batter making contact with the ball. The wicket-keeper stands directly behind the stumps at the striker's end and is a specialised fielder who wears gloves and pads to catch balls that pass the batter attempt, stumpings, and organise the fielding unit. The wicket-keeper is crucial when facing spin bowlers and plays a major part in decisions involving appeals for caught behind or stumped dismissals. Dismissals are a core component of cricket, and there are several methods by which a batter can be declared out according to the rules of the game. The most common method is bowled, which occurs when the bowler's delivery hits the stumps and dislodges the bails. Another frequent dismissal is caught, where any fielder, including the wicket-keeper, catches the ball on the full after it has made contact with the bat or the batter's glove. The batter is out caught if the catch is taken cleanly before the ball touches the ground. Leg before wicket, or LBW, is another key method, and it occurs when the batter is struck on the pad in line with the stumps by a ball that would have hit the stumps if not for the pad. The umpire must judge whether the ball pitched in line or outside off stump, whether the impact was in line, and whether the ball would have gone on to hit the stumps. Run out is a dismissal that takes place when the fielding team breaks the stumps with the ball while the batter is outside the crease during an attempted run. Run-outs are often the result of sharp fielding, accurate throws, and swift work by the wicket-keeper or bowler at the stumps. Another dismissal is stumped, where the wicket-keeper removes the bails while the batter is outside the crease and not attempting a run, usually when the batter has advanced down the pitch to play a shot and missed the ball. A batter can also be out-hit wicket if they accidentally dislodge the bails with their body clothing or bat while playing a shot or setting off for a run. Obstructing the field is a rare form of dismissal, in which a batter deliberately hinders a fielder's attempt to collect or return the ball. Another rare dismissal is handled the ball, which occurs if the batter touches the ball with their hand without the consent of the fielding side. A batter can also be timed out if they take longer than 3 minutes to take the field after the previous dismissal, although this rule is seldom enforced. The combination of fielding strategy and methods of dismissal forms a fundamental aspect of cricket that requires not only physical skill, but also anticipation, teamwork, and situational awareness. Fielders often develop strong throwing arms, quick reflexes, and diving techniques to save crucial runs or turn the game with a sudden dismissal. Practice drills focus heavily on catching ground fielding, backing up throws, and communication between fielders to ensure that no opportunity is wasted. The effectiveness of a team's fielding can be the difference between victory and defeat, particularly in limited overs cricket, where saving a few runs or taking a difficult catch can drastically influence the outcome. Teams with exceptional fielding units often exert psychological pressure on batters by cutting off gaps, forcing errors, and maintaining relentless intensity. In professional cricket, every fielder has a specific role and must adhere to restrictions such as fielding inside the inner circle during power plays, or limiting the number of fielders outside the circle in certain overs. These rules are designed to create a balance between bat and ball and encourage innovative play. Umpires also ensure that fielders do not encroach or move unfairly during the bowler's run-up, and that all dismissals are conducted within the framework of the laws. The synergy between bowlers and fielders is essential, as a well-executed field plan supports the bowler's strategy and creates the conditions for successful outcomes. Whether it is a diving stop at backward point, a leaping catch at the boundary, or a direct hit from mid-wicket, every act of fielding adds to the dynamic and evolving narrative of a cricket match and reflects the discipline, coordination, and intensity that make cricket a sport of remarkable detail and constant vigilance. In the game of cricket, extras refer to runs that are added to the batting team's total without being credited to any specific batter, and they represent an important aspect of scoring that arises from errors or legal allowances within the framework of the game. These extras are categorized into several types, including byes, leg, byes, no balls, and wides, each governed by its own specific rule and condition. Byes occur when a ball passes the batter without touching the bat or any part of the batter's body and eludes the wicket-keeper, allowing the batters to complete one or more runs. These runs are awarded to the team's total as extras, and they reflect a lapse in the fielding side's ability to collect or stop a legally delivered ball. The responsibility for conceding byes often falls on the wicket-keeper, who is expected to collect balls that pass the bat, but on occasion, when deliveries are wide of the target or bounce unpredictably, even experienced keepers can be beaten and byes are recorded. Unlike byes, leg byes occur when the ball deflects off any part of the batter's body other than the hands holding the bat, and the batters successfully complete a run or more. For a leg bye to be awarded, the umpire must judge that the batter either attempted to play a legitimate shot or was attempting to evade the ball. If the batter simply stands still and allows the ball to hit the body without any attempt to play or avoid it, the umpire can declare the ball dead and disallow the leg bye. This rule ensures that runs are only granted for active engagement with the delivery rather than passive deflections. Both byes and leg byes are essential tools in modern cricket strategy because they allow batters to rotate the strike and put pressure on the fielding side while keeping the scoreboard ticking even when bat contact is not made. Another important type of extra is the no ball, which is declared when the bowler commits a delivery that violates the laws of cricket, such as overstepping the front crease, delivering a full toss above waist height, or bowling with an illegal action. When a no ball is called, the batting side is awarded one extra run, and the delivery does not count toward the over. In many formats of the game, particularly in limited overs cricket, a no ball also grants the batter a free hit on the next delivery, meaning the batter cannot be dismissed by most forms of dismissal, except for being run out, obstructing the field, or hitting the ball twice. The free hit rule introduces a high-risk, high-reward element into the game, punishing the fielding side for an illegal delivery, and offering the batter an opportunity to score without the usual threat of dismissal. No balls can also be called for dangerous bowling, such as short-pitched deliveries that pass over the batter's head or exceed a set number of bounces per over, depending on the format. The intent behind regulating no balls is to preserve fairness, safety, and the rhythm of the contest between bat and ball. Wides are another category of extra, and are declared when a ball is bowled out of the batter's reach, such that it cannot reasonably be played with a normal cricket stroke from the batter's position at the crease. The batting side is awarded one run for a wide, and the ball must be re-bowled, meaning it does not count as one of the 6 legitimate deliveries in the over. If the batter moves significantly and makes the ball unreachable by that movement, the umpire may decide not to call it a wide. Wides are especially common in limited overs formats, where bowlers aim to bowl wide of the batter to prevent big shots, but occasionally misjudge the width and concede extras. If a batter hits a wide delivery, the ball is treated as a legal delivery and no wide is recorded. Additionally, if a wide delivery results in a stumping or run out, the batter can still be dismissed under those specific methods. The total number of extras in an innings can have a significant impact on the outcome of a match, particularly in low-scoring games, where each run is crucial and tight margins often separate winning and losing sides. Captains and coaches place great emphasis on reducing extras, as they are viewed as avoidable runs that reflect poor discipline or execution by the fielding side. Fielding units undergo rigorous training to improve accuracy, communication, and coordination to minimize the occurrence of no balls and wides, while wicket-keepers are drilled to anticipate movement, bounce, and spin to prevent byes. Umpires play a central role in monitoring and signaling extras, using standardized hand gestures and vocal calls to indicate wides, byes, leg byes, and no balls, and their judgment is generally final unless challenged by the decision review system in applicable formats. Scorekeepers and statisticians record extras separately from individual batter scores, so that analysts and coaches can assess their impact on team performance and develop targeted strategies for improvement. Over the course of a match, extras can accumulate steadily and often go unnoticed by casual viewers. Yet they are a telling indicator of control, focus, and discipline within a fielding unit. In some matches, the number of extras conceded can rival or even exceed the top scorer's contribution, highlighting their silent but powerful influence on the final result. Understanding the rules surrounding extras provides deeper insight into the game's balance of precision and opportunity, and illustrates how even seemingly minor events, like a missed take or an overstepped crease, can tip the scales in favor of one team or the other. Extras are not merely statistical footnotes, but active elements of gameplay that reflect both the fallibility and resilience of cricket as a sport, where every detail counts and nothing is truly insignificant. In cricket, the role of umpires is fundamental to the conduct and fairness of the game, and their presence ensures that the rules are upheld, decisions are made consistently, and the spirit of the sport is maintained throughout each match. A standard cricket match features 2 on-field umpires, one standing at the bowler's end and the other at square leg, with each taking responsibility for different aspects of play based on their position and angle of view. The bowler's end umpire is responsible for judging the legality of each delivery, such as no balls and LBW decisions, while the square leg umpire focuses on run-outs, stumpings, and catches near the leg side. Both umpires collaborate constantly, and their partnership requires strong communication, confidence, and awareness of situational context. Every decision made by an umpire is based on the laws of cricket, which are maintained and updated by the Marylebone Cricket Club and interpreted with guidance from the International Cricket Council in international matches. Umpires carry a small toolkit, which typically includes a counter to keep track of balls bowled in each over a light meter to assess bad light, a set of white discs to mark the creases, and occasionally protective gear when standing close to the batter. When a batter appeals for a dismissal, players from the fielding team must make a clear verbal and physical appeal, usually by shouting the word, "How's that?" or a variation of it, which prompts the umpire to make a decision. The umpire may then raise their finger to indicate that the batter is out, or shake their head and say, "Not out," to dismiss the appeal. This binary form of communication keeps the process simple and visible to players and spectators alike. While on-field decisions are final in most grassroots and domestic formats, the advent of technology in international and elite domestic cricket has introduced the Decision Review System, or DRS, which allows players to challenge certain umpiring decisions. The DRS involves the use of multiple camera angles, slow-motion replays, ball tracking technology, edge detection, and sometimes heat sensors to review decisions such as LBW caught behind or run-outs. In matches where DRS is available, each team is granted a limited number of unsuccessful reviews per innings, meaning they can only challenge a decision a finite number of times and must use their reviews judiciously. The process begins when a captain or batter signals for a review within a few seconds of the umpire's decision by making a T shape with their arms, and then the third umpire, based in a control room, analyzes the incident using all available technologies. In LBW decisions, for example, the ball tracking software maps the path of the ball from the point of release to the point of impact, and beyond projecting whether it would have hit the stumps. The decision is then relayed back to the on-field umpire, who signals the final verdict based on whether the original call was upheld or overturned. The DRS system has significantly improved the accuracy of decision-making, but it also relies heavily on the quality of camera placement software algorithms and umpire judgment, especially in marginal cases. A key principle in DRS is the concept of umpire's call, which refers to decisions where the technological evidence is inconclusive and the original decision made by the on-field umpire is retained. This feature acknowledges the inherent limitations of technology and preserves the central authority of the umpire while still introducing a layer of accountability and correction. In addition to decisions about dismissals, umpires are also responsible for overseeing player conduct, ensuring that bowlers do not overstep the crease, fielders do not violate restrictions during power plays, and all play occurs within the boundaries of sportsmanship. Umpires have the authority to issue warnings, penalise teams for slow over rates, call timeouts for weather or bad light, and even remove players from the field in extreme cases of misconduct. Match referees support umpires in enforcing codes of conduct and adjudicating disciplinary actions, often reviewing footage and issuing fines or suspensions for infractions such as dissent, excessive appealing, or physical contact. While most umpiring decisions are made in real time, under pressure, the best umpires develop consistency, clarity, and calmness under stress. They are trained through formal certification pathways, practical assessments, and regular evaluations conducted by their governing bodies. Umpires also use non-verbal signals to communicate with scorers, such as a raised arm for no ball, a spread arm, gesture for wide, and a circular motion with the finger for free hits. These signals are codified and universally recognized so that players, scorers, and viewers understand each ruling without ambiguity. With the growing popularity of televised cricket and high-definition broadcasts, the scrutiny of umpiring decisions has intensified, making accuracy and transparency more important than ever. Many cricketing boards invest in professional umpiring development, providing mental conditioning, vision training, and scenario-based simulation to help umpires remain focused and make correct decisions consistently. The trust placed in umpires by both teams underscores their critical role, and while errors can still occur due to human limitations, the combination of experience, real-time awareness, and technological assistance helps minimize mistakes. Ultimately, umpires are not merely arbiters of rules, but custodians of cricket's integrity, whose presence preserves the order, fairness, and discipline of the sport across every format and level. Cricket is a sport that has evolved to include multiple formats, each with its own distinct rules, duration strategies, and rhythms. And understanding these formats is essential to appreciating the full breadth of the game. The three primary formats recognized internationally are Test cricket, one-day internationals, often abbreviated as ODIs, and 2020 cricket, also known as T20s, and each format adheres to the fundamental laws of cricket, but introduces unique regulations that shape gameplay outcomes and viewer experiences. Test cricket is the oldest and most traditional form of the game, first officially played in 1877, and is regarded by many as the ultimate examination of skill, endurance, and mental fortitude. A test match is played over 5 days, with each team having the opportunity to bat and bowl in 2 innings, meaning that the match allows for up to 4 innings in total. There is no limit to the number of overs in an innings, and the only constraints are the number of days and the natural termination of an innings due to dismissals or declarations. The red ball is used in Test cricket, and matches begin in the morning and stretch into the evening, with scheduled breaks for lunch and tea. The primary objective is to outscore the opponent across both innings and dismiss them twice within the allotted time. A team can declare their innings closed at any point in an effort to create a result rather than risk a draw, which is a common occurrence in tests due to the extended nature of the match. The format emphasizes patience, technical precision, and strategic field placement, and rewards bowlers who can maintain pressure over long spells and batters who can construct innings slowly and methodically. On the other end of the spectrum is T20 cricket, the shortest international format designed to conclude within a few hours and cater to modern audiences seeking fast-paced entertainment. Each team is allowed a single innings of 20 overs, and all deliveries must be completed within a strict time frame, or the fielding side faces penalties. Coloured clothing, white balls, floodlights, and music during breaks all contribute to the spectacle of T20 matches, which prioritise aggressive batting, inventive shot making, and innovative bowling variations to restrict scoring. In T20 cricket, every run is valuable, and games often come down to the final over or even the last ball. Fielding restrictions, known as power plays, are used to encourage attacking batting by limiting the number of fielders allowed outside the inner circle during the initial 6 overs. Bowlers are restricted to a maximum of 4 overs each, and tactics revolve around changing pace, using yorkers, bouncers, and slower balls to deceive batters. Given the time constraint, captains must make rapid decisions. Fielders must remain agile, and every mistake can swing the momentum sharply in favour of the opposition. One day, internationals or ODIs occupy the middle ground between Tests and T20s, offering a format that combines traditional strategy with a limited number of overs to ensure completion in a single day. Each team bats for a maximum of 50 overs, unless dismissed earlier, and fielding restrictions are applied in stages to balance competition between bat and ball. In ODIs, the first 10 overs constitute the first power play, during which only 2 fielders are allowed outside the 30-yard circle, encouraging teams to capitalise on scoring opportunities early in the innings. This is followed by a middle phase with slightly relaxed restrictions and a final power play in the last 10 overs, where teams aim to accelerate scoring or close out the innings. Bowlers in ODIs are limited to 10 overs each, and as in T20 cricket matches, use white balls and coloured clothing. Unlike T20s, where brute force and risk-taking dominate ODIs, reward careful pacing, calculated risks, and the ability to adapt to the changing flow of the game. Each of these 3 formats has its own global tournaments, such as the ICC World Test Championship, the ICC Cricket World Cup for ODIs, and the ICC T20 World Cup for the shortest format. The formats also influence player specialisation, with some excelling in the grinding format of tests, others thriving in the explosive atmosphere of T20s, and some managing to bridge all forms successfully. In recent years, the emergence of franchise leagues like the Indian Premier League and the 100 has expanded the popularity and reach of shorter formats, while Test cricket remains the gold standard for purists and traditionalists. Each format has implications for fitness, mental preparation, squad rotation, and even pitch preparation, with Test pitches favouring wear and turn, and T20 pitches often prepared for consistent bounce and stroke play. Additionally, scoring milestones are viewed differently across formats, with centuries in Tests reflecting endurance and technique, while quickfire 50s in T20s highlight aggressive intent and improvisation. Teams must adapt their approach based on format conditions, opposition and match situations, and this adaptability is often the hallmark of successful cricketing nations. Whether it is the unrelenting grind of 5-day cricket, the tactical nuance of 50-over contests, or the explosive entertainment of 20-over shootouts, the formats of cricket provide diverse challenges and endless fascination, and together they reflect the game's remarkable ability to evolve while maintaining its foundational spirit. While the game of cricket is largely defined by its common modes of play, such as batting, bowling, and fielding, it also encompasses a range of unusual and infrequently encountered scenarios that are governed by precise rules and interpretations within the laws of the sport. Among these scenarios are methods of dismissal and gameplay interruptions that occur so rarely that many casual followers may never witness them. Yet, their inclusion within the framework of cricket reflects the game's commitment to structure, order, and comprehensive fairness. One such method of dismissal is known as timed out, which occurs when a new batter fails to take their position at the crease within 3 minutes of the previous dismissal in test matches, or within a shorter time frame in some limited overs formats, as stipulated by tournament playing conditions. If the incoming batter does not appear and is not ready to face the next delivery, or be at the non-striker's end within the allotted time, the fielding team may appeal, and the batter can be given out without facing a ball. Though this rule is rarely enforced, it exists to discourage time wasting and ensure that the game progresses at a reasonable pace, particularly when delays could affect the overall outcome due to time constraints, weather conditions, or fading light. Another uncommon occurrence is the retirement of a batter, either as retired hurt or retired out. When a batter suffers an injury or illness during their innings and is unable to continue, they may leave the field and be marked as retired hurt, which allows them to return later in the innings if they recover. This rule is often invoked in the case of muscle strains, cramps, or impact injuries, and it ensures that players are not unduly penalised for physical misfortunes beyond their control. On the other hand, a batter who retires voluntarily for reasons other than injury, such as tactical considerations, is deemed to be retired out and may not return to bat later in the innings. This form of retirement is extremely rare and often controversial, as it challenges conventional sporting expectations around competition and perseverance, and is only occasionally seen in practice matches or as part of strategic experiments. Hit the ball twice is another method of dismissal that seldom occurs in modern cricket. According to the laws, if a batter deliberately strikes the ball twice with the bat or body, other than for the purpose of protecting the stumps from being hit, they can be given out. The first strike is the legitimate attempt to play the ball, but any subsequent hit must be purely defensive in nature and not intended to gain runs. If the batter hits the ball a second time and attempts to run or change the ball's trajectory for advantage, the fielding team can appeal, and the umpire may adjudicate accordingly. Handling the ball, which was once a separate method of dismissal, has now been subsumed under the umbrella of obstructing the field, and refers to situations in which the batter touches the ball with their hand without the consent of a fielder, usually to return it or prevent it from hitting the stumps. The laws of cricket specify that such action must be deliberate and not reflexive or accidental, and fielding teams must appeal for the dismissal to be considered. Similarly, obstructing the field occurs when a batter intentionally gets in the way of a fielder attempting to collect or throw the ball. This includes changing the running line to block a throw, using verbal distraction, or any physical interference that is judged to be outside the normal course of play. Though such dismissals are rare, they are crucial in preserving the integrity and spirit of the game, and are carefully reviewed by umpires and match referees when they occur. Another peculiar situation involves the loss of a ball, which occurs when the ball becomes irretrievable. For example, if it is hit out of the ground or into an inaccessible area. In such cases, the umpire calls dead ball and a replacement ball of similar condition is introduced to ensure consistency in play. If the ball is lost during a delivery that results in scoring or dismissal, the appropriate decision is made before the ball is declared dead. In instances of weather, interruptions, or poor light, the umpires may suspend play temporarily, and in multi-day matches, time may be added to subsequent days to compensate for the loss. In limited overs formats, rain-affected games often invoke the Duckworth-Lewis-Stern method, which is a complex mathematical formula used to recalculate target scores based on the number of overs and wickets remaining. While it may appear opaque to spectators, this method is designed to create fairness in shortened matches by preserving the balance between batting and fielding opportunities. Yet another rare occurrence is the case of penalty runs, which can be awarded to the batting side if the fielding team engages in unfair conduct, such as deliberate distraction, ball tampering, or persistent time wasting. Conversely, penalty runs can also be given to the fielding side if a batter or runner violates specific laws regarding equipment running lanes or intentional obstruction. These rules emphasize cricket's foundational principle of playing within the spirit of the game, and they remind players that sportsmanship and respect are as integral as skill and performance. Cricket also includes procedures for dealing with equipment malfunctions such as broken bats, dislodged bails, or damaged stumps, which must be addressed promptly to avoid unnecessary delays. While these rare scenarios may not feature prominently in everyday matches, they collectively reflect the meticulous design of cricket as a game that anticipates even the most unlikely situations and prepares mechanisms to address them with clarity and fairness. As cricket continues to evolve across continents, formats, and generations, its foundation remains rooted in a tradition of fairness, dignity, and respect that transcends the simple contest between bat and ball and defines what is widely known and revered as the spirit of the game. Unlike many other sports, where rules alone govern conduct, cricket places equal, if not greater importance on the values of honour, sportsmanship, and integrity, which are not merely optional ideals, but woven into the very framework of how the game is played, appreciated, and taught. The spirit of cricket is enshrined in the preamble to the laws of the game and serves as both a reminder and a guide to all who participate, whether as players, officials, coaches, or spectators. It encourages respect for opponents, acceptance of the umpire's decisions, and the expectation that players will not only comply with the laws, but also act with a sense of fairness, even in situations where the rules might allow for ambiguity or advantage. The spirit of the game is what compels a bowler to withdraw from their delivery stride if the batter is not ready. It is what prompts a batter to walk off the field, even when the umpire has not given them out, if they know they have edged the ball, and it is what leads fielders to show restraint in appealing for dismissals they know to be unjustified. While these actions are not enforced by penalties or measured in statistics, they are deeply admired and remembered by those who value the ethos of cricket, and they contribute to a culture where integrity is celebrated as highly as victory. This spirit also extends to how captains lead their teams, how players conduct themselves during moments of pressure, and how cricketing communities foster inclusiveness, diversity, and camaraderie beyond boundaries and rivalries. From the village green to the grandest international arenas, players of all ages and abilities are encouraged to uphold these principles, not simply because they are instructed to do so, but because cricket as a sport gains its unique character from this expectation of honourable conduct. It is a quality that has allowed the game to serve as a bridge between cultures, a stage for diplomacy, and a platform for lifelong learning about responsibility, humility, and teamwork. Cricket has witnessed countless unforgettable moments, not only of athletic brilliance, but also of profound character, where the line between competition and respect is walked with remarkable grace and clarity. Instances such as bowlers applauding opposing batters for brilliant centuries, or teams forming guards of honour for retiring legends, symbolise how deeply this spirit runs and how much it contributes to the identity of the game. In recent years, as the commercial landscape of cricket has grown and the pressures of professional competition have intensified, questions have sometimes been raised about whether the spirit of the game can endure in the face of increasing emphasis on results, branding, and spectacle. However, despite these changes, the fundamental values have not only endured but often reasserted themselves through moments of quiet integrity in the heat of high-stakes contests. This is evident in decisions made by players to recall opponents after dubious runouts, or in the grace with which defeats are accepted and victories are shared with humility. Governing bodies, tournaments, and coaching systems continue to emphasize the role of character development alongside technical skill, ensuring that younger generations understand that cricket is not merely a sport, but a way of conducting oneself with grace under pressure. The education of umpires also includes guidance on managing player behaviour, resolving disputes, and setting the tone for matches in ways that uphold this tradition. Spectators, too, play a role by appreciating gestures of fairness and supporting the culture of respect that distinguishes cricket from many other sports. Even as technology becomes more embedded in the game and analytics transform strategies, the human element remains essential, and it is the spirit of the game that keeps that element alive through its insistence on honesty, civility, and perspective. In schools, clubs, and national teams around the world, coaches remind players that what they do when no one is watching speaks as loudly as their performances in front of thousands. The essence of cricket lies not just in boundaries, wickets, or centuries, but in the silent code of behaviour that shapes how the game is remembered, how its stories are told, and how its legacy is passed down. It is through this lens that cricket continues to earn its reputation as the gentleman's game, and why so many of its followers hold it so dearly. The rules may change, the formats may adapt, and the faces may come and go, but the spirit of cricket endures quietly, guiding every match from the first delivery to the final handshake, reminding everyone that what truly matters in cricket, as in life, is how the game is played.